Hello, I am going to try and enter Glenn's contest and do a video here. My name's Jean. I go by Pow. Anyway, I am not so much a progressive rock person, but I do like a lot of it because I've had friends over the years who are really into a lot of progressive rock bands. I tended to get more into more 60s pop, especially up to about 1967, 68. And then for a while, I didn't like as much of the heavier psychedelic stuff, but now I like it a lot more. And then it goes into the 70s and tends to be more progressive. And I like a lot of that too. I mean, at the time, before I even knew people who were into Yes or Genesis or anything like that. I had a couple of earlier Yes albums and really liked them. I had Yesterdays that I'd found used, and I went out and bought Close to the Edge and Tales from Topographic Oceans. I think I had Relayer. No, I had Relayer later, and that became my favorite one. But I had Fragile, and I think my copy of Fragile was beat up, so I didn't know that. And I had the Yes. I mean, I had a bunch of the early Yes. Um, and then when oh, Owner of a Lonely Heart was a hit, I was interested in seeing all those videos and stuff on MTV. So I like Yes. I just tend to be kind of not giving them the credit I should. So I finally did go and get a beautiful collection, and we'll probably get other albums. But I also, if I'm going to go out and pick things up, and I usually do that used, I try to find like a newer remastered edition of something. And so often I'm looking at CDs that somebody dumped because they got the nice version. So I don't wind up picking those up. And I just kind of piled a bunch of stuff on the bed here. Oh, so this is kind of what I was. Can I even angle this? I'm not good at this stuff, guys. So there's a whole bunch of albums there. But I was just going to try and pick three. So I think out of my three, I qualify with that Yes collection in a word first, which I'm really glad to have, and I got it used. So it's totally great. It's Rhino, so it goes up to, I think, like 2003 or something. And, it's not everything. I'm not so much a collection person usually. I like to have a real album because I feel like albums are like novels. They're in a certain order. That's supposed to be the piece of art, things like that. But anyway, I also in the 80s was a big fan of Marillion when Fish was in the band. I first got their third album, Misplaced Childhood. And then my friend Mike was a Genesis fan, and he got Script from a Jester's Tear, which now is in this super cool version with a Blu-ray and a live album that is incredible on this thing. I played it the other day, and I am so impressed with these. I also have Fugazi, but this doesn't count. So there's Fugazi. I would love to get the third and fourth album, but these boxes for those two albums are like 200 plus each. It's insane. So I just can't do that. Okay, so we're at two. I should pick Jethro Tull because my best friend loves Jethro Tull. And when I first started hanging out with him, we went and saw Jethro Tull at the Gorge in Washington, middle of the state. And we were like in the second or third row, and it was like a big deal for him. I was able to help him get tickets right up front. Not that they were like, really that expensive. It was back at the point right before every ticket up front became super expensive. So he got to see them right there, and he's seen them a million times. We went and saw him quite a bit when we were hanging out more. So I think I've seen Tull, I don't know, like 10 times, eight to 10 times, something like that. And then I've seen Martin Barr once solo. I'm about to go see him again. So should I pick the Tull album? Would I want to pick those one that probably isn't going to be everybody's choice? That's the first ELO album. I like, the later move, and I like this album a lot. I like Roy Wood. I also like Jeff Lynne, especially more some of his earlier stuff. I start feeling like a lot of the ELO winds up sounding the same. I like ELO. I went and saw them with the Jeff Lynne version recently, and then I also went and saw the orchestra, is what they're called now, but they're kind of, a few members of ELO, though several of them have passed or aren't in the band anymore. I didn't see them with Bev Bevan. But I like the later move where it's Bev Bevan and Roy Wood and Jeff Lynne. And this album's cool because it's really kind of clunky. I really love it for that because it's Roy Wood trying to play every instrument he can, just very do-it-yourself, like, taping him playing the cello over and over again and then kind of splicing it together. So there's definitely some progressive rock type songs on this, though, like Battle of Marsden Moor is very much like, a Genesis type thing or something, but more, amateurish. So, and I love 10538 Overture. I was so thrilled when I saw, both versions of, the fake ELO and the Jeff Lynne ELO do that song. I love that song. It's so cool. So I think those are my 3 records. And I even have some vinyl here. Here's my bonus. I really like this album. I like all the weird middle period Pink Floyd where you've got the Syd Barrett singles, and I love Julia Dream. That's on here too. It's cool. So there's that. Is it all backwards? Yeah, I think it's all backwards. I'm new to these videos, sorry. Nile Song. I love Nile Song. I gotta get the More soundtrack. I really like that. Careful with that, Axe Eugene. Who doesn't like that? And I've got Procol Harum here. Got a Mike Oldfield album. I should have put more Mike Oldfield albums in the pile. They qualify. This Move album. Beautiful. It's more pop. It is, but I love this. Okay, that. What else was here? Got this later Moody Blues album. This is kind of like junior high era for me. I really like this album. It's kind of one of my guilty pleasure. Yeah, not really progressive, more pop, but it's the Moody Blues, right? Kate Bush. Kate Bush is Prog on the second side of this album, I say. It's just, that suite is incredible. The Ninth Wave, good. And Dreaming is kind of like that too. And all of this, I like a lot of Peter Gabriel's solo albums, but I really love this album. I saw this tour, and okay, so this is one of the funniest things I ever heard at a concert. Rob has one where he was at a Jethro Tull concert, and some guy behind him yelled out, "Boogie on Jethro!" Rob's like, "It's not Boogie. His name isn't Jethro." Anyway, but the thing that cracked me up was there was a woman behind me. I was way up high. It was a great show to watch because there were so many things going on at that Peter Gabriel show. But she yelled out really loud, Tony Levin is the bass player of my heart. You don't hear that every day. Yeah, I've got some King Crimson around here somewhere. I've got, oh, what else? See, I'm cheating now. That Caravan collection. There. I got Procol Harum collection. I should have a copy of Shine On Brightly and Salty Dog. I have that. Those are albums you just should have. Like, you should just have this. This is a Soft Machine collection I got the other day. And Nick Mason live. And I got a Steve Hackett album somewhere. Here's my other tolls. I wish I had Passion Play. I have a little Thick as a Brick somewhere, but I wish I had the thing of Passion Play, because I really like Passion Play. I got this collection, but these 5 albums, I don't know, they're kind of metal for me, but I think the keyboard player is really interesting. I used to have a nice compilation, and I played that a lot. I didn't really have that much ELP. You know, I like them in theory until I have to listen to a lot of them. I should probably have Tarkus and, you know, a couple of them. But you know, like I'm saying, it's not so much my thing, but I really like to be able to say, oh, I want to go listen to progressive rock and have a variety of things to choose from. I have 2 Vandergraafs. So this is the main one I've heard. And this one I got recently, which is pretty cool. Moody Blues collection. Let's see, here's another Peter Hamill solo album that my friend James really recommended. Here's the Steve Hackett live that I've got. And does this count? This War of the Worlds thing. I was kind of listening to that the other day. That's got Justin Hayward, but it's really strange. This is kind of the only Pink Floyd I have right now other than that live thing. I should, and the LP. I got Red the other day. I've never had Red. I need to listen to it. I got Nursery Crime finally, and Wind in the Wuthering. So, I don't know. Steven Wilson. Got that. Hair. Fear of a Blank Planet. Up the Downstair. I think another toll. So I've got just randomness, but it's pretty good. You know, it's not like I can't pull something out and think real hard. Okay, I'm stopping this. There you go. Hope that was enjoyable.